Sometimes I wonder what I'd be doing with my life if I hadn't done these stupid videos. Maybe I'd be a doctor, maybe I'd be a lawyer, but more than likely I would have become the greatest basketball player of all time.
Some b-ball. I heard you girls were playing some b-ball. I heard you girls were playing some b-ball. I heard you girls were playing some b-ball. Heard you were playing b-ball.
I heard you girls were playing some b-ball. I heard you girls were playing some b-ball. I heard you girls were playing some b-ball.
Heard you were playing b-ball. I heard you girls were playing some b-ball. I heard you girls were playing some b-ball. I heard you girls were playing some b-ball.
But even though that didn't happen, I can always live out that fantasy by playing a video game. So, where am I going with this? Who cares? The top 10 worst video game worlds to live in. Let's go! Oh yeah, the only rule I have for this list is no horror games because that would just be too easy. Let's go again! If you're talking worst video game worlds to live in, I assume a lot of minds jump straight to Grand Theft Auto. And I can buy that. There's a lot of innocent people getting mowed over and shot, often for no other reason than the player's own amusement. But I would argue that there's a game worse than GTA, Burnout. The series is notorious for rewarding reckless and even violent driving behaviors. Hey, take a look at the dam over there. Isn't it beautiful? Yeah. Bonus points. But the reason it really deserves to be on the list is the crash mode. The whole point is to drive your car as fast as possible and slam it into traffic to cause as much death and destruction as possible. If you live in the world of Burnout, it's only a matter of time before you're involved in one of these things. That's not funny. Death isn't funny. You sick freaks! Rise of Nations. This one may seem a bit odd, but hear me out. Rise of Nations is an RTS, so naturally if you exist in this game, you're likely nothing more than fodder for whatever nation you belong to. That kinda sucks. And if you're not a soldier, you're a regular citizen. What does your daily life consist of as a regular citizen? Working! Working all day and all night, never stopping, ever. And you're probably gonna end up dying anyway. Ouch. But you could say that for pretty much any RTS game, so why Rise of Nations? Well, let me explain. The game has 8 different ages, and you can upgrade to the next age by improving your military, civics, commerce, and science. According to the game's wiki page, the Ancient Age lasted approximately 9,500 years. I'm not even that good at the game, and it only took me 2 minutes and 13 seconds to upgrade from the Ancient Age to the Classical Age. So, keeping in mind that the average age at the time was roughly 31 years, if you were to live in the world of Rise of Nations, your average lifespan would be about 0.43 seconds. You're dead. 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 You died about 7 times just now. I'm dead too. We're all dead. Up next, we have BioShock, the city of Rapture to be exact. I'm not super knowledgeable about the BioShock universe, but I'll do my best to explain. Rapture is an underwater city and the baby of a man named Andrew Ryan. It was a city built for only the supposed greatest people in human society. Artists, scientists, etc., and the main draw was the lack of government rule. Well, long story short, it didn't work. There was a huge civil war, most of the people died, and the ones that didn't generally went insane off a drug called Adam, and will pretty much attempt to kill you on sight. Fun! Add in the Big Daddies, spider slicers, all the other crazy stuff going on, and Rapture is generally a city that you will not want to visit, much less live in. Sometimes being a human sucks. We're weak, we have frail bodies, and our heads can easily be popped like grapes. But if there's anything worse than being a human, it's being an ant. SimAnt for the Super Nintendo. The life of an ant is rough. Your sole purpose in life is to get food for your colony, and that's pretty much what you do in SimAnt 90% of the time. Just running back and forth over and over and over and... What's that noise? Yep, that's right, you can also die very, very easily in multiple different ways. So I hope you're ready for your brand new life, running around for a few minutes, doing hard labor, lifting things that weigh more than you do, and then dying. Enjoy. But at least the music's kinda catchy. I don't know if we clarified whether the music would actually be there if this was like the real life, I don't know. But hey, that's something, right? Monster Hunter. Now, Monster Hunter is a fun game, don't get me wrong, but if it was real life, it would suck. I mean, there's freaking monsters everywhere. What are you doing? Don't go outside the village, are you crazy? You're gonna get eaten! Honestly, I can't even believe there's a village of humans that have been successful enough to even live in a world with this many monsters. And they're out in the open in a port city. They're just asking for it. They should be hiding in caves or something. Oh wait, these things live in caves. They're like bears, but on steroids. And all these guys, even Lagiacrus, are nowhere near as tough as some of the monsters later in the game. I don't care what kind of armor you're wearing, what kind of sword or bow or gun you have. If you meet this guy, you dead. GG. I often sit, and while I'm sitting, I think about how I really enjoy how there are no demons out there just killing me and my family and killing me. It's great. That's one of my favorite things about life, actually. Gives me great pleasure to just think about not being ripped apart from the inside with demons. I enjoy it greatly. There are very few places in video games with worse luck than the land of Sanctuary in Diablo. It is constantly being invaded by demons. And not just the cutesy little guys with horns and a pokey stick. We're talking disgusting monsters, blood, guts, and just about any kind of nightmare you could imagine. And this is just basically everyday life in Sanctuary, all par for the course. Oh, and don't go into any caves or anything like that either. I've literally never come across any cave in the Diablo games that weren't infested with skeletons or some other form of abomination. So I hope spelunking isn't your hobby unless you have like a whole pool full of holy water. If you're unfortunate enough to be born into this world, just find the safest city you can and hide there until it's inevitably overrun by the spawn of the underworld. I give you maybe 10 years, if you're lucky. Well, would you look at that? I made a plane crash. It's alright, I always assumed this is how I would go out. Goodbye, cruel world. Huh, what do you know, I'm still alive. Things are looking up for peeps. I'll just get on this raft and, wait, what's that? Shark claims another victim. Get me on that boat right now! Stranded Deep, half castaway, half realistic Wind Waker. The only goal in Stranded Deep is to survive. You can craft things like a campfire, tent, cook food, and drink from coconuts. I feel like this one is pretty self-explanatory. Despite being relatively easy in video game form, in real life, this would blow. And having to survive all on your own is only part of the problem. It's just a video game, and I still feel like I'm kinda going crazy out here. Luckily, I found some buddies. Some crab buddies. In fact, I spend most of my time hunting down more crab buddies. I'm building a city, Crabtopia. A city where all crabs are treated equally. Because they're all dead. All equally dead. Oh, sorry guys. I don't think that potato was good anymore. My bad guys. Well, I threw up all my potatoes, so I guess I should sail to another island to find some more. Hey, this isn't so bad. It really is kind of like a more realistic Wind Waker. Adventure! Yeah! There's a shark. Get me out of here! Oh no, I think there's more than one. Ah! They flipped the raft! Ah! Ah! Swim! I think I might actually make it. Oh, I'll land! Sweet land! Oh hey, more crabs. Which one of you guys wants to be friends? At number 3, we have the town of Hamlet in Darkest Dungeon. Darkest Dungeon is a depressing game. You inherited an estate from a family member that accidentally unleashed some kind of portal to an evil world with monsters and demons and stuff or something. It's pretty bad. But luckily, instead of fixing the problem yourself, you can recruit all of your friends to face the depths of hell for you. Don't worry, guys, I believe in all of you. Except for you, Todd. Look at this. I knew it. I knew it. Just sad, Todd, just sad. And other than the danger, death, disease, and more death that they'll face in the dungeons, all they'll have to worry about is managing their weak, fragile mental states. The dangers that they'll face will affect them so much that they'll become paranoid, hopeless, masochistic, and various other forms of intense, horrific anxiety. They'll often be so stressed out from their adventures that they'll be forced to self-medicate in town. Anything from drinking, gambling, or even self-flagellation in order to recover. With all this stressful stuff going on, it almost seems like you'd be better off dying.
You know what, Austin? That's a great idea.
More blood soaks the soil.
No! Not Brutal Moose! Oh, the humanity! I'm over it. Welcome to the world of Half-Life 2, more specifically, City 17. Just look at how excited everybody is to be here. You can't mention Half-Life 2 and not show this guy. Take your stupid can and shove it! Ugh! Huh. I meant to do that. Without delving too deep into Half-Life lore, which is fairly complicated, the Combine, an incredibly powerful interdimensional organization bent on the domination of not just the universe, but the multiverse, has taken over Earth. Upon their arrival to Earth, a war began, which swiftly ended in humanity's surrender after a measly 7 hours, thusly dubbed the 7-Hour War. Pretty pathetic display, Earth. I'd like to see some improvements for next time, okay? After the war, Dr. Wallace Breen, this guy that won't stop talking, negotiates a peace treaty that effectively enslaves the entire human race, and then, whoops, what do you know? He's now the administrator of Earth, and a pretty evil, corrupt dude. If you're an everyday citizen, you are now subject to constant raids, torture, beating, and death by the Combine soldiers. There's also barely any food, you can't go anywhere, do anything fun, and you can't reproduce. You could always try joining the Resistance, but it probably won't end too well for you if you do. And the worst part is, the only channel on TV is Dr. Breen, rambling and rambling non-stop.
In the
Shut
citadel
up!
so thoughtfully
Shut up!
provided
Shut
by
up! Shut
our
up!
benefit. Total extinction.
I was highly considering putting a game like SimCity or City Skylines on this list. Especially with City Skylines, things can go south very quickly, but I found a game that trumps both of them, and I think it more than deserves the #1 spot on this list, Tornado Jockey. Sure, a lot of bad things happen in a game like City Skylines. One minor mistake can easily have a domino effect and cause death on a massive scale. But in Tornado Jockey, death and destruction is the game. You control a tornado, and your only goal is to create as much carnage as you can. You can even collect power-ups like fire and lightning to become even more deadly and destructive. And if flaming electric ice tornadoes weren't enough, you can also pick up nukes with your tornado and throw them at the town. But the best part of the game, I think, is the text that pops up as your score increases.
Massive destruction!
Oh my gosh! Oh, and just in case you're feeling guilty about killing all those poor pixelated people, don't worry. A percentage of proceeds will be donated to the American Red Cross, so you can rest easy. Todd? Todd, turn off the camera! Todd, turn off the camera! Hey everybody, if you haven't already, then please go check out my gameplay channel, PVG Gameplay. Do a lot of fun stuff on there. Recently played through a little bit of My Sims Party with my good friend Jeff. You can click right here to go watch it, and make sure you subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure you subscribe to this channel so you can see more when they come out. You can click here to see a video I did last time. It was... what was it again? Goodwill Games #3, that was the one. If you want to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, all that stuff, you can check out the links in the description below. All right, again, thanks so much, you guys. The video every 2 weeks thing seems to be working out, so we're gonna keep trying for that. I hope you guys are enjoying it, and I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye!